Alright, I'm in Sheffield for my weekly protest, doing the inner ring road this week. I'll just show you, that's where Sheffield Castle was, that's the old castle markets, and that was built on top of Sheffield Castle, which was the largest castle in the north of England, and it was sacked in 1644 during the war. Anyway, I've already had positive interactions from people. I spoke to somebody who works in the Hallamshire Hospital. I couldn't think of that word before, civil war. Anyway, I've spoke to somebody who works in Hallamshire Hospital. He works on equipment there. He's forced to wear a mask, but he says he knows nobody who's died of COVID-19 and says it's a scam. So quite a few interactions with people. I've already had somebody pip at me and I've only just walked across one road, so yeah, I think people are waking up. It's just, what do we do about it? Anyway, I'm on what they call the Greater Green in Sheffield. The grass in this area are over, or putting flowers in, and you can see it here, and that takes you up to the Law Court area up there. If you look down here, that's the River Don. So I'm going to go all the way around the ring road and pick off interesting points and do little videos as I'm going around. So I'll speak to you at my next stop anyway. Bye. So I'm now on the Wicker Arches area, Sheffield. See the Wicker Arches there? That's where the old Great Central Railway came through. The Royal Victoria Hotel's up here. This is the inner ring road for Sheffield. This comes down from the Parkway junction. There's a small roundabout before the main Parkway, and this is sort of the filter road onto the inner ring road. So I'm going to walk around this, and there should be some interesting sights around here I can capture. But this cuts right through the middle of the Wicker area, Sheffield, so it's took quite a substantial area of it out. Used to be quite a good shopping area, but there's very few shops left along here anymore. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll pick up with you on the next leg of my journey. I'm not sure which, there's a few roundabouts on here, so I'll pick you up on one of these roundabouts later on. So I'll just show you my signs as well anyway. Got two of these signs back to back so you can see in either direction. Much lighter than my homemade sign. It's been made by a local printer who'd seen me doing these solo marches, wanted to help me, so that was really good of him. Anyway, I'll speak to you later anyway. Bye. So I'm now on the Bridge Houses roundabout of the actual inner ring road. You can see two bridges around here. There's an iron bridge there, zooming on that for a bit, and then there's also a stone bridge, and I think it's possibly the stone bridge used to have a railway running over it, but it's now part of the ring road, but that probably goes back to the 19th century anyway. So I might do a little bit of a detour into the Kelham Island area, Sheffield, because this was quite full of people last time. And if I've got the right junction for it, I'll be outside the Fat Cat in a minute, so I'll speak to you from the Fat Cat. I'm now in the Kelham Island area of Sheffield, and right in front of you is the Fat Cat. This is a trendy area of Sheffield now. This is a museum just here. You can see modern flats there as well. So I've stopped off here last time. There's quite a lot of people walking around it. It's right on the edge of the ring road, so I really recommend getting out here, even in the lockdown. Come out and have a walk around and just see what Sheffield used to look like. You can see that large tower there. There's a big engine inside Kelham Island Museum. What the museum gets across to you is the working conditions of Sheffield folk back in the 1900s, the average sort of living age of people in Sheffield in those days was about 30-year-old. They look like old men at 30. Trying to see if I can get a picture on the side of the fat cat for you. Just show you that now. Jarvis Cocker on the side of there. There's loads of artwork on the walls around this area of Sheffield. I'll just show you another one. There's another mural on the wall there, but all around this area you find plenty of murals on the wall. So I'm going to get back onto the ring road anyway, but I thought I'd show you a bit of Sheffield. This is the real Sheffield, well, what's left of the real Sheffield. You find loads of old cutlery works around here. In fact, if I just take you up there, Globe Steelworks. So on that bit of the inner ring road, I was starting to get pips, and somebody shouted out of the car to me, word of encouragement. So I reckon the silent majority are onto it. So speak to you on the next roundabout anyway. Alright, this part of the ring road I'm on takes you up to West Bar area, Sheffield. If I zoom in up there for you, I can get it on here. You can see that old building on the corner there. That was originally a police station and fire station. The original West Bar police station, which was replaced in the 1960s by a modern building. As far as I know, that's still the history museum for the fire station anyway. And if I come back here, I'm going to carry on around the ring road and see if I can actually get around it without getting lost. So you can see there, we're on Corporation Street at the moment, but that's the ring road going around there. So I'll speak to you in a moment. So I'm trying to get as many sights as I can as I'm going around. I'm sure I had a derogatory comment from a car, but does that bother me? Somebody must watch BBC or Sky and can't actually think for themselves. So we're actually at Shakespeare's pub. Stopped here because some nice colourful artwork on the building. Ward's was a really famous Sheffield brewery. There is still Ward's Ale as far as I know, but it's not brewed in Sheffield anymore. I think this was the original A61 from the city centre into Hillsborough, but it's now just a backwater. And just down here you're back onto the inner ring road, so I'm going to go up, carry on back around the inner ring road and catch up with you in a bit. So I'm on another turn off on the inner ring road. Thought I'd just show you this interesting pub. Whether this pub will survive, I don't know. Just had another chat with somebody. People are very shy to go on video. I don't even want them actually on the video, but you know, just speaking and pointing it somewhere else. But they clam up as soon as I try and get them on video, you know, speaking. Now if you follow that direction, that takes you down the A61 towards the Hillsborough football ground, and I'm going to take the left turn and that'll take me back around the inner ring road. My honest opinion today is that I would expect more pits on the road. Either people are not seeing it or they're actually brainwashed, they're watching BBC and Sky too much. The snow's actually held off today anyway. I mean, I was told it were going to be dry today by the BBC, and then when I got up this morning they were talking about snow showers. So I took my umbrella in under my coat in case it starts absolutely bowling it down. And it's actually quite nice at the moment. I can actually see blue sky up there. So I'm going to carry on. I'm veering to the left and I'll see what else I can find on the way. I'm at the Oil Street area, Sheffield, where HSB used to have a office building of about 500 people. It had car parking as well. There's an old furnace I thought you'd find interesting. Probably goes back to the 1800s. Now, as well as having Oil Street, HSBC had Griffin House, which held about 2,000, and various other locations. I think Steel City Plaza as well. Now everybody for HSBC is crammed into one building called Grosvenor House in the retail quarter. Probably holds a quarter of what the old buildings used to hold. So I'm going to carry on up there, up the ring road. There's a super tram track running right down the middle of it. Nothing like the tram network from about 1890 to 1960, which covered the majority of the Sheffield. This super tram network only covers about a quarter. It's in a figure of 8 with an extra line that goes off to Meadowhall. If I take you down here, if you go left, that'll take you down to, on the A61, down to Hillsborough football ground. And then I think if I zoom in on that, I think that's possibly the sheaf works there, that big old building. It'd be a big old cutlery manufacturing building. But I thought this would be an interesting area of Sheffield to show you, but I can't show you a super tram coming down here at the moment. So, speak to you at the top of the hill. Bye. So I'm now right at the top of that drag, and what I want to show you here is I'm on the sort of main Sheffield University roundabout, and most of these buildings around here are part of the university. I just want to show you that building. Big new development going off. I'm going to assume it's something to do with the university again, whether it's more flats for students. I wanted to show you the art tower, but I think that's tucked in behind all this lot, because at one bit the art tower for the university was the tallest building in Sheffield. So if I can get a view of it from the other side of the actual ring road, I will do, otherwise I'll leave it. So speak to you the other side. So that's what I wanted to show you. That's the arts tower for the university. One bit, there was the tallest building in Sheffield. See all these flats around here. These were built in the 60s to take people out to the sort of rows of terraced houses and back to back. And I should be able to zoom right in up here. See that building there? You can see Western Park Children's Hospital just there. Then if I come closer in, I think that's the University Arms just there. So I'm on, like I said, I'm on the main university roundabout, and I'm going to go down there next and carry that round. That'll take me towards Bramall Lane area of Sheffield, so I'll speak to you in a bit. I thought that you'd find this place interesting. They made Henderson's Relish here for probably 100 years, and then they moved it to a new purpose-built plant somewhere in Sheffield. What I want to just show you is this walkway here. It's totally deserted. This is one of the main walkways for the university. Absolutely nobody on it. Back on the actual ring road, as you can see, the ring road's still quite full. And there should be a super tram coming through at the moment. There you can see one of the super trams there. Now, what I'm trying to do is encourage people to actually get out and protest where they live, either single, solo like I'm doing, or with a pair of you, because there's nothing the police can do about it at all. Totally legal. So I've seen quite a few police cars passing me as I'm going round. Sure, they're radioing back, thinking it might be something bigger, but it's just me. So I'll speak to you at the next interesting feature on the ring road. Right, so now I want to show you this. I'm on London Road. On London Road once went into the middle of Sheffield before it was cut off by the Manpower Commission building. But this is the Locarno, where the Locarno dance hall was, it's now a entranceway to shops and various things. So that was the place to be in the 1960s, the Locarno. I don't think it even says Locarno on it anymore. But I've just been speaking to somebody else, and he said straight away, it's a hoax. So, you know, I don't go up and talk to people. They come up and talk to me. So for every bit of abuse I get, I get 20 people being really positive. So my advice to you is get out and talk to people, get a board, or just stick stickers somewhere, or drop flyers through people's letterboxes. Just do something. And if you're going to wear a mask because you're frightened that you'll get a fine, well, at least put a mask on that says hoax on it or something like that, because you can do something. So hopefully I'm going to pop up to Bramall Lane and show you Bramall Lane, even though I'm a Wednesday supporter. So I'll speak to you again in a bit. Right, so I'm now at St Mary's Church, which is close to Bramall Lane. I always remember this church back from 79-80 when Wednesday got promoted from the 3rd Division. When we played the return fixture at Bramall Lane after beating them 4-0 on Boxing Day, somebody put a sign on top of this church saying Sheffield Wednesday, and they could actually see it from the televised match at Bramall Lane where we drew 1-1 with United. We got a record crowd at that time for a 3rd Division match at Hillsborough, 50,000, and I think there was 43,000 down at Bramall Lane. So I'm going to walk up here into Bramall Lane and get a picture outside the football ground. But I'm still actually on the ring road technically. There's the roundabout. Then I'll come back out and I'll carry on back around the ring road. So I'll speak to you in a bit. So I'm now by Bramall Lane football ground. On the Bramall Lane end, it's where I used to stand as a Wednesday supporter at the front. Really strange, because I've seen 3 guys at each corner of this patrolling it. Well, it looks like they're patrolling it, but I don't know what's going off there. But anyway, I'm on Bramall Lane and you can see the turnstiles at the bottom. It's a tidy ground, Bramall Lane, but it's not very big. They filled all the corners in, but most of the corners have been filled in for office type development. Even though I think the Saudi guy now owns Sheffield United Football Club, he didn't realise that the PLC owns the football ground and all the office space around it and the hotel as well. So he didn't get much out of him, bargain other than I suppose £110 million a year income from being in EPL. But you tell me, how can, if we're living in a pandemic, how can EPL be actually playing? It's absolutely ridiculous. If we're in a pandemic, there'd be no football being played. To be too risky. So I'll speak to you later anyway, bye. So I'm now on the John Street of the football ground. So if you follow this road up, that's the John Street stand. And if you go down here, that's Shoreham Street, and this is the United Cop here. So that curved bit on the corner, and then you can see a bit of red roof, that's United Cop. I've been sat on there as a Wednesday supporter at a United derby. I didn't jump up when United scored, and I put my fist up when Wednesday scored. Well, under the seats of the girl who I knew next to me, because it was a few of us from work went as a group. United got us some tickets on their Cop, and I tell you something, it's painful, because when United scored they all went mad and I just stood down. I sat down, and then Wednesday scored and I had to, like say, put my fist up underneath the seat to say we've scored. And then a bit later somebody got flare right behind me, one of these red hot flares. So it was an experience. If you want to know what hate is, sit on the United Cop when they're playing Wednesday. They absolutely hate Wednesday. So Anyway, so I'm going to pick the ring road back up anyway, but I thought I couldn't miss this opportunity of showing you Bramall Lane. At this point I'm getting a bit confused about the direction of the ring road, but I thought I'd just stop here, show you another pub. Royal Standard, I think it is. It's Royal Standard. I say it's a good job the pubs weren't open today. Not that I drink much anymore anyway. So I've got to decide which road's the ring road. I think the ring road may be left at this point, so I may be turning left. So I'll speak to you in a bit anyway, outside the Midland train station. Right, so I'm now outside Radio Sheffield. It looks like the bottom floor is used by somebody else, and I'm sure that all of this building at one bit was Radio Sheffield, but it's a very scaled down service to what it used to be. I regularly appeared on Radio Sheffield for quite a few years, doing various different things around my hypnotherapy, from about 2000 to about 2010, and then I gave up with Radio Sheffield because all they're doing is looking for a dirt on you, and they're not really interested in facts, so I haven't bothered with them since. So, but as you can see, the weather's absolutely perfect. So BBC, who believe in CO2 warming, said it were going to be cloudy and snowy today, and as you can see, it's blue sky. It's been an absolute perfect walk round for exercise. Whether I'm achieving anything else, I don't know. So I'm at Radio Sheffield anyway at the moment, so I'll do another one outside Midland Station. So I'm now outside Midland Station. I'm probably 3/4 of the way around the ring road now. That would normally have water flowing down. It's a stainless steel sort of fountain. Same down here, this would have water flowing from here to the bottom. And then there's the actual Midland Station. Now there used to be two stations, Victoria Station and Midland. Victoria was on the Great Central into London. As far as I know, this will be on Midland Line into London. Why they shut the other line down, I don't know. To me it's an important line, and now they're building HS2, which could have run exactly the same route. But they sold all the land off where Great Central was, and all you'll find now is the Royal Victoria Hotel at the Victoria Station. So I'm going to carry on back to the car park and see if I can find anything else to show you on the way. But if you look around there, I'm just going to zoom in for you. Up there you can see there's like an amphitheatre for open air concerts. It's like a series of steps, and then behind the back of it is Hyde Park Flats. They were originally built for all the slum housing in Sheffield in the 60s. Then they became slums themselves because they weren't very environmentally friendly, and now they've been redone again back into decent flats, I think. And I think there may be businesses in there as well, so that's all been renovated, and I think it's actually a listed building as well. And across there is, well, Hallam University, which I think is the second. It's not a real university, it's the old Polytechnic, but they now call it university, and Pond Street bus station's behind there. So I'll catch you later anyway, bye. Well, I thought I'd give you another view of Pond Street bus station from a different angle, and then if I zoom in there where it says Odeon, that was the old Fiesta nightclub, which was the place to be in the 60s and 70s. All the great stars came there. I think Shirley Bassey, etc. came. And then behind that was the Roxy nightclub, which I'm zooming in on. Steely's. That was a massive nightclub. So I'm just going to carry on round now and finish the the ring road, so I can say I've been all the way around it, and I've had a good exercise. I can feel it on my legs at the moment. I'm now at the Ponds Forge baths. There was an original baths here, and they built this massive new baths for the 1991 World Student Games in Sheffield, and it's still existing at the moment. Whether Sheffield City Council find an excuse to shut it down, I don't know. Just in front of us you can see looks like the Tyne Bridge. Well, that's the bridge that carries a super tram across the Parkway roundabout. They can see a super tram coming across, and then we're back on the Parkway roundabout, so I'll do an ending video in a bit when I get to the other side of it, because I'm just about into the car park where I am at the Victoria Quays. So speak to you in a bit. So I'm down where the River Sheaf is. That's under a concrete culvert. So if you imagine the left hand side of it and the River Don just here with the castle beyond it, so that was where Sheffield Castle was. So that's the end of my walk around the ring road today. It's a beautiful day. Can't believe how different it is to what the BBC weather forecast said it would be. One thing I've noticed is, yes, there's quite a bit of traffic on ring roads, but it's still pretty empty. And what I just can't believe is the number of people walking around in the streets with masks on. My honest opinion is, if there were a virus out there, I think wearing masks in the way people are wearing them would actually be more harmful than good. In fact, I think people are harming themselves by reducing their oxygen intake, probably about 4%, especially when they're exerting themselves. They're breathing the CO2 back in, and like I said, if there was a harmful virus around, the way they're doing it, putting a mask on, taking a mask off, twiddling with it, they'd be more liable to spread a virus, so they'd be better off not actually wearing a mask in the first place and letting their immune system and actually do what it's supposed to do. So my thing to people is get out, protest in your area, and tell me about your community. It'd be nice to hear about where you live and what important features there are in your community and what we're fighting for across the UK. So whether you're single protesting or dual protesting, get out in your community, your postcode, make a homemade sign, or or have a more professional sign made up like that. That's quite light compared with my homemade sign. So that's it for me this week. So I've got to concoct something to do next weekend. So I'll speak to you next weekend. Bye.